Hi everyone. I'm reading my poem of the day for Monday, April 20th. Right now, even though it's the 21st. Yesterday was it was a busy day. The day off was a good day. I got the wind chimes. I got the dog. We got the whole works here. It was a day off. But as many of you probably know, Marathon Monday for me is it's like one of the best days of the year. It's one of the most important days of the year. I'm not fast enough to qualify. I don't think I ever will be fast enough to qualify. So I traditionally run for charity, usually for Dana-Farber, which I'm honored and thrilled to do. I've been very fortunate to have those opportunities. I think I've run Boston 7 times, everyone for charity, and it was it just felt different. Like obviously it was a bummer to not have the race yesterday, but it was the right call given everything. But it was a bummer. Still, it's and that's one of the things I'm kind of struggling with. Like, I'm trying to be good to myself. I'm trying to be kind to myself. We can be grieving things. We can be feeling bad about things that like we aren't experiencing right now. If that's okay. That's human. And I feel like that's something that is that's acceptable. I know that what we're doing is the right thing. I know that the decision to postpone the marathon was the right decision. Obviously, it doesn't make it like hurt less though, And I feel for all of my friends and my bandmates and the people who busted it, qualifying and training and all that. My heart is with you, for sure. And in another world, I would have read "Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening" by Robert Frost for the marathon day for a million reasons, and Coach Richardson knows why, and our runners know why. But someone entered that already on the poem of the day document, so I didn't want to double up, and I wanted to be truthful to that experience of not doubling up. So, instead I tried to find a poem that was just about Boston, because the race and the day, they are very special days. And there's just something about Marathon Monday, everything from the early Red Sox game, anything that you would read in a newspaper. Everything from the early in the morning Red Sox game to what the city does and how resilient the city is and how supportive the city is. Some of, I've mentioned it before, some of my best friends in the world I've met through running, many of them through training for Boston, many of whom I've run multiple marathons with. Even running as part of the Dana-Farber team, we all get the same singlet, so it's like we all wear matching uniforms. And I just remember, there was one year, I wasn't feeling great, and I bumped into a couple other people who were wearing the who were wearing the same singlet, and we were like, hey, let's finish this together. And I didn't know these guys, but I still talk to them. And it's, like we finished arm in arm, I've run 4 or 5 marathons with my wife, and, we've finished hand in hand. We've run every step of the way, some of those marathons. And there's just something really special, about any marathon, any, running is really special to me. Maybe I guess it's sort of fitting that I'm not reading the and miles to go before I sleep, because the marathon isn't happening today. So maybe we'll hopefully we don't. Hopefully we're able to relax our social distancing a little bit, because it's safe and healthy to by the rescheduled marathon day. But here's a poem about Boston, or set in Boston on a day where there probably wouldn't be any running. So this is a poem called "Winter Psalm" by Richard Hoffman. Boston snowbound, Logan closed, snowplows and salt trucks flashing yellow. Drifts tall as a man some places. Visibility poor. I sit by the window and watch the snow blow sideways, north-northeast. Hot cup in hand, robe over pajamas. You have made me to seek refuge and charged me to care for my brothers. How cruel. That could be you out there howling, cracking the trees, burying everything. What could I possibly want from you that would not undo the whole world as it is? One of the cool things about, Boston is that it can be 90 degrees on race day, on Marathon Monday, on Patriots Day. Or my very first Boston was in 2007, and it was snowing the morning of, like sleet, gross, disgusting windstorm with snow. And there's an article in the Globe that I remember reading after the fact. I didn't know. I knew it was bad weather, but I didn't know that like the wind had knocked down a power line across the marathon route, like the morning, like an hour, 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours before the wheelchair start went. And so they it was like the marathon they almost canceled. And I know that we're facing we're facing a postponement, not a cancellation, a postponement, which is different, of course. But there's just something about Boston. There's something about training through the winter that everyone who trains for Boston, everyone who lives in New England knows. There's something about, Boston is usually the day that it's like maybe spring is almost here if it's not 90 degrees and stuff like that. So it's usually a great marker of, things are turning on the day of the Boston Marathon. And, hopefully we can all get back to it and enjoy those things. I don't think that we necessarily took them for granted, but maybe we weren't so mindful about them. And to everyone who trained for Boston to happen on Marathon Monday this year, I hope that you can find peace and get to the start line in September, which is that's always my running coach, Jack Fultz. He always says, like, the hard part's getting to the start line. Which I like to think, as, again, I'm not a competitive runner. But anyways, that's a lot of proselytizing for me. Thank you for joining another edition of the Poem of the Day. And we hope, I hope you're well. Take care of yourself. Wash your hands. Be kind. And we'll see you back again tomorrow for another edition of the Poem of the Day. Take care.